Mike McCool here with the Royal Examiner. I am back at the DL Community Market here on Saturday. It's the 16th of April. With me is Melanie, the goat lady. Last time we were here, we spoke to your daughter.
That's correct.
And we called all the, don't think you're getting away with this. Come on, stand over here. She's got some help with her again today. You got the new crew. So Mama Goat is with us. So Melanie, tell us about goat cheese and all things great goat, and how did you do last time you were here? And you worked your daughter so hard she didn't show up this time. So.
Yeah, so we had a fantastic beginning to the season last, I guess it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And we have a wonderful support from the community. We have done, fantastic with getting the word out and spreading awareness for fresh, locally raised products.
Right.
And all our cheese is made in-house. We do everything by hand. We milk the goats, we own the goats, and we try and keep everything as local and fresh as possible.
Right. Your daughter was telling me that you got a machine now that helps you milk the goats.
We do, yes.
That's a big change because they have 30 goats, or they did have 30 goats, but they're milking these things by hand. And I thought, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Dedication. This goat cheese is really good. I bought a sample, or I bought one of those little packs of some of your pretzels, and I didn't get it home. When I stopped at the office, that was my lunch, and it was so good. I ate the whole thing.
Yeah, we like to dip apples in it. We go to the local apple orchard to dip the apples in it.
It's great. Who's your partner over here?
This is my helper, Serenity.
Serenity. Are you a bee lady too?
No, I don't do bees.
You don't do? She doesn't do bees.
She's my helper milker.
Okay. Oh, you're the one that does all the work. You delegated. So I was surprised that you had bees going on, and a lot of great things.
And we're starting with microgreens that we can incorporate into the cheeses.
So you put your flavors right in.
Right.
yourself.
We're trying to do everything self-sufficient and keep everything in-house as much as possible. And then we're going to try and use some of those microgreens in our hard cheeses and in some of our cheeses to boost the flavors.
And all their cheeses, she vacuum packs this stuff. It's first class, and it's great. We really, I'm amazed that all this happens right here in Front Royal. It's like right down the street.
Yeah.
And you have all these goats, and you make cheese, and you make honey, and this is what this sample thing looks like right
that's
here.
our 3-ounce size. It's not a sample.
Oh, that's call this is a sample.
Yeah.
This is lunch. But
that's our single serve size.
Single serve, and they have all sorts of cool things that they have, and we're going to talk to some of the other people here this morning, some of our old people we talked to 2 weeks ago, and see how well. Yes, the veteran. That's right. A fellow veteran-run organization here. So this is great. Come on down to the DL Market. It's on the parking lot at the Dynamic Life Church on John Marshall Highway, right at John Marshall and Leach's Run. So, Melanie, tell me your name again. Serenity. Why would I forget that? I love that TV show. Anyway. Come on down, visit these ladies. I'm going to try to get this posted early enough because you're going to be here till 4 today.
Yeah.
And so they have plenty of cheese. You need some. It's great.
And we also serve local wineries, restaurants. We do wholesale for markets and for individual stores. If people want to do, stock their shelves with it as well.
Sure. They do everything. So come on down to the DL Market. They're here every first and third Saturday of the months, all the way through October, I think. It's going to be great. It's a great thing that they're doing. Matt over here is doing a great job. We're going to go talk to him here in a minute at the Moon Acres Farms, or wherever he's called.
It's fantastic.
It's great. We're glad to see you again.
Thanks you very much.
Thanks, Serenity. I remember your name. Thank you. Well, we're back to some veterans here that we spoke to couple weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago Saturday. 2 weeks ago today. With me is Cameron and Emily Sewell. It's Sewell, right?
Yep.
And they have Runway Farms. Last time I kept calling it Runaway Farms, like, you run away, but I was corrected. So now it's Runway Farms. And they're like around, don't tell me, not Fort Valley, Star Tannery. I see, I remember. So Emily's joining us today. She was a little camera shy last time, a little nervous, but we'll eventually pull her in. So tell us how it went last week.
It went great. We got to meet a lot of lovely people, interact with all of the local community. We We did great sales-wise. We actually left here with just a couple things. Our bags were light going home, so that's always
what
a
you
good
want.
day.
You want to be empty.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, it's great. They sold out of the sourdough bread, so this time Emily has put it back. I said, I want one, so she did save me one, but they got a few left. It's still early in the day. They'll be here till 4 o'clock at the DL Community Market. We're going to remind you again, it's 1600 John Marshall Highway in the parking lot of Dynamic Life Church, so you can't miss it, right at John Marshall and Leach's Run, so right here in Front Royal. So what all did you bring today? It looks like you had some eggs out today. And
We do.
We do. So we did, Emily's idea was to let you pick your own.
Oh yeah, because they look different.
Yeah,
right?
they all look different. You get to get your custom dozen of eggs. We've got honey granola this week. We got honey wheat bread. We made some pepperoni rolls, pepper jack cheese, and then cheddar cheese.
Yep.
Okay.
More sourdough starter, and of course
Okay.
we always got the chickens in the cooler for
That's
people
right.
to take
That's
home
great.
and cook up.
So Emily, now you made this. Do you make all that bread yourself?
Yes, I do.
She's been busy this week. So we're going to try some of the bread, see how that goes. And I know you have the chickens, and you make. They have like whole chick. They have meat chickens, and then you have egg chickens, right?
We do. We have probably 120 on pasture right now, give or take a few. We have the new batch of meat birds coming. It'll be ready on the 28th for anyone that wants the fresh unfrozen.
Right.
28th of May, I'm sorry. And
you got to give them those 60 days, right?
Yep. Give them the time to grow up and be nice, healthy meatballs, as Emily likes
That's
to call
right.
them.
You know, I learned something about eggs. You see all them different colors in there? Someone told me that the color of the egg doesn't make a bit of difference.
It doesn't. Just looks.
Some chickens have. There's actually chickens that lay colored eggs.
They do. We just got, I want to say 35 Americanas, and they're supposed to lay like blue eggs. That way we can add them to our variety.
It does. People do. Their eyes catch those things, and they look
Very
at it
much.
and it's what you see sometimes. It's all in the packaging.
Yep.
Very much.
It is so in the packaging. So come on down here to the community market. Come down and see Emily and Cameron at Runway Farms. Check them out online. runwayfarmsva.com. Is that correct?
That is
there we
it.
go. I checked it out. They got pigs coming soon, I hear.
They're on pasture.
Oh,
They
well,
are.
there you go.
We have a dozen on pasture right now. They're just little squirts out there, and we're moving them every day. They're getting fresh organic feed.
What they do is they grow these chickens in I want to say pens, but in fenced-in areas, mobile fences, so they move them around the farm, so they actually are technically free range.
They are. Yep.
Because they move, but they don't run away.
That is very true.
Runway Farms.
That's pretty good.
You like that?
I did. That was good.
Well, it's great. So we're going to try the sourdough bread. We'll try some of the other things you have, Emily, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks and see how well you did.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike McCool here. I'm still at the DL Community Market. We're making our rounds from booth to booth. And now we're over at a new booth. They weren't here the last time. They were getting set up. This is really Jill and Avery. Tell me again. Culbertson. Your husband Matt kind of helped pull all this thing together here at Dynamic Life. And so he said, well, I'm going to have a booth too, and my wife is going to come down here. We've got eggs and cookies and chicken, and what I thought was interesting was this alpaca yarn.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about that. So Jill, tell us what all are you doing at Moon Gap Acres?
Sure. Well, we specialize in gluten-free products, so a lot of baked goods. So we have everything out over here. We mill a lot of our own flour, so we do quinoa flour and rice flour. And then we have the alpacas on our farm. So we have 10 alpaca, 4 male and 6 female. One new young one from last year, which are called Kriya. And then we have the yarn process just recently, and we're actually shearing again next week, all of them at once.
It's a renewable product.
Yes.
That's one thing about it, that it's a renewable product. So my grandson is with me here with the camera, and he's on his phone, playing with his phone instead of paying attention. So I hope we're in the frame here so that you can see what we're going to do. But we're going to show you some of this yarn here. Connor, pull the camera over here real quick here. I want to pull out one of this one that's a two-tone. So this actually this yarn is brown and I guess kind of a white.
Yeah.
So these probably two, and you had the mill, what do they call that?
Fiber mill.
Fiber mill, and they put this together and yarn. And I see something else here. Is this how you start with?
It's a rug yarn.
Oh,
so
a
that
rug
was
yarn.
also processed into a rug yarn.
Oh, it's kind of interesting. So anyway, this stuff is so soft This yarn here is so. Have you made anything with it yet? Or?
No, we haven't. We actually just picked this up, I think, last weekend.
Sunday.
Yep.
I told my wife all about this yarn, so I know she's coming down today to look at it. So I hope you sell out before she gets here, before she does that. So anyway, it's so cool. Connor, did you see the picture of this here? Are you paying attention? I tell you, you get kids to help you. Are you better than my grandson is on the? Are you a good worker? Come on, tell the truth.
She's definitely a good worker.
She's a good worker. So anyway, we've got the yarn. It's so cool. It's nice and soft. You got gluten-free. Are those gluten-free eggs too?
Of course.
Of course, gluten-free everything. That's what we do nowadays. So what do you do at the Moon Gap Acres?
Well,
You pick the eggs?
yeah, I get eggs and made bookmarks.
She does hand-painted bookmarks.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I heard your dad told me about those. Let me grab one of these. Connor, hand me one of those bookmarks right there. Let's see what we got. Oh, a seeing eye. Look here. Avery takes these things and paints them right onto the bookmark. And you know, this little tassel really makes a big difference. And people love these things right here. Look at that. Handmade. You're pretty talented. Thank you. That's what she said.
Yes.
So what's your plans with Moon Gap Acres? Are you going to like make this a full-time job?
Not yet, but it is kind of more of a hobby, I guess, at this point. Just, getting more involved. We started to work on the gluten-free products probably about 2 years ago and hadn't really gone forward and done anything like this for vending.
So
but-
you're a gluten-free person yourself?
I am.
Well, that kind of helps when you use your own products,
Yes,
right?
yep.
No, that's kind of a big thing. A lot of people are realizing that gluten's caused them a lot of trouble. So
Yeah, it had for me too, and I went probably a couple years ago and started to take it out of my diet. I still enjoy
it's hard
some
to
things
take
here
out of
and
your
there.
diet.
It is very
It is in
difficult.
everything.
It's in
We don't
everything.
realize, it's not in there. Trust me, you look at the ingredients, there it is, right in
Yeah,
there. So that's what
absolutely.
makes the world go around. But,
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck on your alpacas. They're so cool. They're cute little animals. Have you named them all?
Yeah.
And you got your
Well, we only named Clover. The rest of them came.
They came with names,
Oh,
but
they
we
came
had
with
a
names.
new baby, which are called Kriya. We had one last year, and that one we named ourselves. So what's the name?
Cloverdale.
Cloverdale. All right. Well, it's great to meet you, Avery and Jill. Good luck, and I hope that things are good. You'll be back in a couple of weeks. So come on down to the DL Market at 1600 John Marshall Highway, right at the corner of Leeches Run Parkway and John Marshall Highway, right in the parking lot of Dynamic Life Church. All right, you can't miss it. All right, thanks
you
again,
so
Jill.
much.
Thanks, Avery. I love your hat.
Thank you.
You can see that in the dark.
Willie made it.
Who made it?
Willie.
Billy.
Willie goes to our church.
Oh,
He
Willie made
for
it.
me.
Oh,
He
he's-
made Mom's too and Logan's, and Daddy has one at home.
That's right. Where's your brother? How come he's not helping?
Where is he?
Oh, he's over. He's shopping.
He's twirling sticks.
Oh, he's out looking at what everybody else has.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Bye.